conversation is a conversation that reveals important context, not only about ourselves, but about other people. Critical conversations edify, heal, and provide substance. Join LaTanya Harris Gooding as she introduces us to critical conversations right here on Trailblazers Radio.
Hello, everybody. This is LHG. I am just coming to let you know that I am an independent paparazzi jewelry consultant. You didn't know that, did you? Well, now you know. So I would love to be your personal jewelry lady. Paparazzi is an amazing company. We sell nickel and lead-free jewelry. We are known for our $5 bling, but you just need to know there is an exclusive Z collection that's $25. It's the bling of all bling when you're really going out on the town and you want to show up absolutely fabulous. So we have items for women, for men, and for young fashionistas out there. We don't discriminate. If you need it, I'm sure we got it. You have the opportunity to follow my page on Facebook called Polished on Purpose, a VIP group. Follow my personal page, LaTanya Harris Gooding. And I have my own website that is at your disposal 24/7. So many ways to shop. So let me be the one that makes sure you are accessorized the way you should be, because I want you to be polished on purpose. My mentor always tells me, when you show up, people are checking you out. They're watching you. So why not be polished, be poised, be purposeful? Glam it up with pop, honey. I got what you need. Hey everybody, good evening everyone. How y'all doing? I hope y'all can hear me. I am in a new location. I want to make sure my sound is good. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I'm excited about tonight's show. I need you to I need you to tag, go on YouTube and subscribe to Trailblazers with the Z Radio. Go on YouTube and subscribe to Critical Conversations with LHG on YouTube. I need you to go on my Facebook and like the page. All of that. I need to make sure that these platforms get the attention. And I want to make sure that you are aware of the fact that we have several different podcasts that come on and multiple different types of content, from our CEO, Fred Beatty, to Prophetess Coco Fenton, Minister Quint Jones, myself, LHG. We do our absolute best to make sure that we are bringing you content that is impactful, that is informative, that has some spiritual basis to it as well. And we try to be a well-rounded team. So I need you to tag and like and share and make sure you are
setting notifications. All right. The little doorbell on YouTube is how you subscribe. That way you can be notified via YouTube of when a podcast is coming on, whether it's a scheduled one or a pop-up one. All right. So, Mr. Gooden, are you popping on and say hello? What are we doing? Mr. Gooden is standing in front of me, everybody, and he wanted to make an appearance.
Hello. I finally get to be on Critical Conversation.
Yes, this is Mr. Gooden, everybody. Mr. Indegwa A. Gooden, aka my husband, Sugar Smack. So he wanted to say hello to my watching and listening audience. So you get to see my other half. So there he is.
Hello. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to pray and we are going to dive into leaders at every level. And I'm telling you, this is loaded. It's layered. I need you all to bear with me. This is a very heavy topic, not in a bad way. Leadership is a good thing. A good leadership is a good thing. Let me quantify that. But let's pray that we're going to get started. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you. I'm so grateful that you have provided this platform, this opportunity, this place of fellowship to come together and talk about topics that may not be easy to talk about or always palatable, but they sure enough are necessary. And the purpose of these conversations are to inform, encourage, enlighten, and give us the fresh start, the reset that we need to go out in the earth and do what it is we're called to do. Life has been life, and Lord. However, you're still God and you are on the throne and you are in total control. So I ask that every need be met for those who are watching and for those families who are represented in the comments. God, we give you the glory and the praise. Bless our CEO, all of our podcast team. Bless every listener and supporter that takes the time to support Trailblazers Radio as a network and as a whole. Bless all of my sisters who connect with Girl Chat Weekly and those who watch Critical Conversations. My Life Has Destiny, Authors Alley. We are so appreciative, Lord, of what you've given us as a team and as a collective. And we don't take it lightly. We don't take support lightly. And I ask that you even bless our businesses individually so we can grow and exceed our goals. Thank you for being the exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think kind of God that goes even beyond our wildest dreams. And even in this next coming week, God, I ask you to work your miracles. Let your manifested power rest on each of us in our health, in our wealth, and in every arena of our lives, nothing lacking and nothing broken. And in terms of our leaders and leadership, help us to learn how to accept constructive criticism on this leadership journey. It is a journey and not a destination. So God, I praise you for tonight. Just come in and be in the midst. That's all I ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Woo, y'all in here. I need to see that y'all in here. Give me some comments so I'll know y'all are in here. So the topic tonight is leadership at every level. And let me just give you a little bit of a background where I got that from. Many years ago, with the employer that I work for, we used to have these all employee or all department meetings. And there's good meetings. Hi, Sister Sandra. There's good meetings and there's meetings that have no purpose whatsoever. This happened to be an absolutely purposeful and beneficial meeting, okay? It was called Leaders at Every Level. They asked someone from multiple parts of our department to be a part of a skit. And just to kind of give you an overview of what this skit was about, it was a played out phone call. Hey, Simone. Thank y'all. I see y'all coming in. Thank y'all. And it was a customer contact that had an automobile incident. And they had me on the stage. I was like the call center person. If you've ever worked in a call center in the insurance industry, we are the front line. When you have an accident or an incident and you make that first initial, call to your insurance company, there's someone picking up that call that's taking the basic information. So that was me. They chose me to act out that role. And that was my job at the time. I began with this company in an entry level position 22 years ago. And I thank God for that. So I was the one acting as the CSR or customer service rep. Then we had someone acting as the customer that called in. Then we had someone acting as the adjuster that called the customer back, introduced themselves, gave them kind of a play-by-play or a heads up of what to expect. So it was all played out in a skit. And the reason why they called it Leaders at Every Level is because we wanted to demonstrate that no matter what level you are in the company, now I was the entry-level call center person, you had the adjuster, you even had the adjuster's manager that called to do kind of a survey to make sure the adjuster and all of us were doing our job. So all these different levels were represented in this skit, y'all. It was phenomenal. And the fact that you can be a leader no matter what level you are in your job is a very critical concept. Number one, you've got to believe you're a leader, because if you're waiting on someone to identify you as a leader, that may or may not happen. And I think that some people view leadership in a subjective way. They may say, oh, I don't think she's strong enough. I don't think she's vocal enough. I don't think she's punctual enough. People have their own internal thought process of what they feel a good leader is. All right. And it's subjective. It's basically based on how you feel, what you think you know, your experience. But in this skit, the reason why we played it out in a skit is because we identified different areas in the skit where each person exemplified leadership characteristics. When the person took the phone call, they had a smile in their voice. It was me. Good morning. My name is Tanya. Thank you for calling XYZ Company. How may I assist you? I listened to the customer. I gave them empathy because, for one, they called me because of a problem. Call center employees and call center employers. If you are working in an environment where someone is calling you because of a problem, whether it's the insurance company, DTE, Consumers Energy, AT&T, if someone is calling you because of a problem, it takes a very special kind of person to take those calls. I already got a problem. I don't need negative Nancy taking my phone call, and I'm already sensitive about my problem. So the leadership component came in where when I took the phone call, I had a smile in my voice. I offered them empathy. I walked them through the claim process, which can sometimes be a lot, a bit much over our customers' heads. I broke everything down, their coverage, what to expect. Listen, thank you, Simone. I'm glad you like the title. When you are in customer service and you have a customer that's calling you, know that they are depending on you for something. You have something that they need, whether it's an answer to a question, whether it's information about where's my money, where's my check, where's my technician, whatever it is, they're calling you for something. Don't let a customer call you and you sound as if they're bothering you. Oh, I can't stand that. I can't stand that, y'all. Picture a customer service experience where you called the company or you pulled up to, Burger King and McDonald's, and they sound like you woke them up. Like, good morning. Am I bothering you? That's a problem. That's a problem for me. So in this skit, I'm demonstrating effective listening. We're talking about leadership now, right? We're talking about leadership at every level. Basic level, effective listening, okay? Empathy. Y'all taking notes? Basic ground level, good business attributes. Listening, empathy, acknowledging my customers' needs. Come on. Simone, customer service is the lifeblood of every business. I don't care if you flip burgers or sell houses. Customer service is the lifeblood of every business. It will either make you or it will break you. Your product may be wonderful, but if you are not able to service me in getting to a great product in a good way, I will drive across town and spend more money on gas than allow you to be rude to me. Customer service is absolutely critical, Simone. You are so right. So even at the entry level position, okay, of taking the initial phone call from a customer, I'm talking entry level, I am able to show leadership qualities, okay, by number one, being the kind of person on the phone that I would want to talk to, okay? And have you ever had a car accident? I have. And when you call someone, you shaking up. The car can be totaled. The car can be undrivable. You know, you may be hurt. So many different scenarios, right? So when you call about the accident, you need somebody on the other end that is going to take your hand and walk you through an unknown process. Customers fear the unknown. If you've never had an accident, how would you know what the phone call is going to entail? I, as the customer service representative, am supposed to explain to you what this process is. I'm going to ask you some questions, get some information. We're going to get you a claim number, things of that nature. Okay? I'm going to give you your adjuster's name. I'm going to walk you through. We are in the business of servicing people, meaning help me put my life back together. Whatever the reason is, I'm calling you, customer service people, industry. I need you to help me put my life back together. Simone, the emotions are already a wreck. They're a wreck. Because, we have had cases where people have died and lost loved ones in accidents, or have had houses catch fire, have lost pets, lost vehicles. So when you're in the service industry, and we're talking about leaders at every level, no matter where you land, coming in the door, entry level, management, and on up, janitor, I don't care. You can be a leader exactly where you are right now. We are done with the days of leadership being reserved for those who've been with the company 40 years and up. Leadership should be available to anybody who wants to be a leader and has leadership qualities. So we shouldn't have to wait for you to be there a year or two for, as a leader, to say, hey, I recognize leadership characteristics in you. As a leader, as a manager, as a boss, you should be looking for your stars. You should be watching to see who's already a leader, even though they don't have the title. The title should make you a leader. Your leadership should put you in a place to possibly get the title, but you shouldn't have to wait until you have the title to become a leader, not a real leader. If you're only in it for the title, if you're only in it for notoriety, if you're only in it for publicity, attention, spotlight, then maybe you think that way. But a person who's a leader in their heart, an intrinsic person who is a leader down to their DNA, they don't have to have a title. If they see a need, they'll fill a need. That's a real leader. And you don't have to be at an executive level with multiple degrees to qualify for leadership. You don't have to do that. Simone says, and gone are the days where the leadership takes its power to the head. Woo! Real leaders don't know what the big head is. All they know is there's work to do. There's people who need them, and I want to serve them. Real leaders are servants. And that comes in the arena of corporate and even church and ministry. The most effective leaders are those who are willing to serve. And let me back up. Let me say this. And I'm not a professor. I haven't written any books yet, but I believe that the most effective leaders started as followers. How am I going to effectively lead or effectively understand a process if I haven't had a chance to follow? But here's the key. Even while you're following, you can be leading. Come on here. Even while you are reporting to someone else, don't have a title, you can still exemplify and exude leadership qualities right where you are. Well, LHG, I just got this job. I mean, how can I expect to be a leader and I'm on the bottom of the totem pole? Why wouldn't you expect it? If you know in your knower and you know in your heart that leadership is a part of you. And those of you who know, you know. If you don't know, it's okay, because you may not know it yet, but you could be a born leader. You may not have the confidence yet to see it in you. Sometimes it takes somebody else to show you you. Sometimes my friends and my sisters and my leaders have shown me you do have what it takes, LHG, even when I didn't feel I had what it takes. So even when you come into a job, entry level, don't know a whole lot, in training, you can start to exude leadership qualities. How? Be on time. Matter of fact, be early. Because if you're on time, I was told you're late. How about that? If you're on time, you're late. Simone, I agree with you. I believe everyone is a leader in some capacity. Everyone has a span of influence, even if it's just a few people. I believe that, because think about it. In terms of our Christian walk, we're all called to spread the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. To me, that takes a certain type of person to feel confident in spreading that. And in parenting, if you are a parent, you are leading your children. In a marriage, husbands, you are leading your family, leading your wife. So there is leadership capacity in all types of arenas, Simone. I absolutely think you are spot on with that. Spot on. So in this skit, the phone rings. I answer the phone, and I'm giving this customer, I'm giving them the best syrupy sweet LHG customer service. Because if anybody has ever worked with LHG, I love people. And if you've done ministry with me, you will know I love people. And what you see, like what you get from this show, is who I am to everybody, every day, all day. I love, 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 love connection. I love people. I love helping to solve a problem. Key point. How do I know I could be a leader? You love helping to solve problems. So if you don't know that you're a leader, there are some hints. If you love helping to bring things to resolution, you love helping to solve issues, you love when the team gets it done, you love having that moment of, aha, we did it, we can do it. It's possible that you are a leader. Come on, Simone, be early. The early bird gets the worm. I was taught when you're in the working world, and even in the entrepreneur world, it don't change. You have to be early and give yourself the grace of getting started early enough to have a smooth start. Get up, get your shower, get your teeth fresh, and get your breath ready for the world, honey. Get your breath ready for the world. Get your body clean. Get them good, smell good. Get them teeth together. Get your coffee, your tea, whatever you do. Have your morning meditation, your morning prayer, and then get to work in a way where you're not rushing. Leave home early enough to beat the traffic or to avoid accidents, or even if there is an accident, you left home so early that you're still going to be on time. Come on. We're talking about leadership and basic leadership qualities. Simone says, I don't know what the last part of my comment means, but I believe it's true. The early bird gets the worm. It means just what you said. If you're early, you get the worm. Because if you're late, the worm is going to be gone. Birds eat worms. And if that worm comes out early at 8 a.m. and you not showing up to 12 noon, chances are another bird and swooped in and got your worm. So it is a metaphoric statement, Simone, that if you're early, you get the goods, whereas you late, you can miss out. Being early has its benefits, and it benefits you in multiple ways. For one, it shows your leadership that you care about your job. I don't care if you flipping Big Macs or signing contracts. There's some basic skills that help you show people that, number one, you want to do a good job, and number two, you could be a leader. A leader is someone others, a good leader is someone others should be able to emulate. So if you come in late, I don't want my staff to emulate lateness or procrastination or insubordination. That means you are exuding the characteristics it takes to be an exemplary employee. Ground level. You early. When I do my training classes, I look to see who's flying in at the last minute running. Oh, Miss Tanya, I'm late. Oh my God, yes, you are. You late. Or who's coming in early, going to get their coffee, going to use the restroom. I'm watching. I can assess who's who in a training class in the first day before a book is cracked open, just by who comes in on time, how they present themselves to me as their trainer. Honey, I'm taking internal mental notes. And don't you think people are taking notes when you come to work? So what? You don't have a leadership title. So what? You are an entry-level worker. People are watching you. That's why I call my business Polished on What Purpose? Because I'm intentional about being early. I'm intentional about dressing for success. I'm intentional about how I speak. Listen, if you want to be taken seriously in the arena of business, no matter what kind of business you are in, business has a universal look and language, not a color, but there is a look of business: clean, crisp, professional. Now, I will say over the years, we have kind of relaxed on business casual since we working at home and stuff. Y'all got y'all water. Don't come in here dehydrated. Y'all know, don't come in here ashy, and don't come in here dehydrated. But over the years, we have gotten a little laxed with what we call business attire. Because back in my day, you had to be suited and you had to be booted. But over the years, we've come down to slacks and a shirt for men, slacks, a skirt, and a blouse for women. Keep them leggings out of the workplace if you don't have a long shirt. We could debate about it in the comments. But y'all coming up here, leggings weren't even meant to be pants. I think they were meant to be tights. Y'all coming in treating leggings like slacks with these little short shirts and your tail just wagging around. That's not business unless your job is a stripper. Okay? If you have the business of being on the pole, then your tail can wag all you want. That's your money. But if you are a businesswoman, businessman, and you want to be taken seriously, if you are a podcaster, a news anchor, whatever you are, a real estate agent, there is a refined look of business. There is a refined speech or communication style that shows you know what you're talking about, you're confident, and you're a subject matter expert. We call them SME, S-M-E. Keep that in your repertoire. That means you are experienced and knowledgeable in your lane, and somebody can call you about your lane and you can help people. So when you coming in dressed any kind of way, hair any kind of way, and I love my bonnet. Trust me, me and my bonnet get along well. But when it comes to doing my shows or being in a business Zoom or being in a business meeting, the bonnet has no place for that. Unless you are a bonnet salesman, unless you sell bonnets, put that bonnet down. If you want to be a leader at whatever level you're in, you're going to have to be willing to adapt to the universal language and look of business. No, I'm not saying be fake and phony. I'm not, and I hear y'all. I'm not saying that. I am just saying, think about people who you hire, contractors, consultants, whatever. Think about people you hire. How would you want them to present themselves to you? Would you? Yes, Simone Smee, subject matter expert. That means whatever field of business you are in, become so familiar with that field. Customer service, education, medical, whatever it is that your lane is, your occupation, your whatever it is, vocation, whatever it is. Get so in tune to that you are considered the subject matter expert. So when meetings happen, okay? When meetings happen and we need to consult with different people about different things. For example, you're throwing a party and you want to get the best caterers. You want to get the best venue. You want the best speakers and the MC. You start bringing in people who know that business, right? You want the subject matter experts in the room to make sure your event goes off without a hitch. Same thing in business. Wherever your lane is, wherever you flow, be so in tune to that. Master your craft. Hone in on your craft. And you want to be the one they call when it comes time for someone to present about that. You want to be that one. Like I want to be the one you call when it comes to jewelry. For my Polish on Purpose paparazzi business, shameless plug, honey. I keeps myself popping, baby. I want to be the subject matter expert. When you're doing a pop-up and you want to bring in a jewelry vendor, I want to be the one you call. I want to be the one. So you are identifying your space in the business world as an expert in a certain area. That comes with learning, growing, developing. And you can do that on whatever level you find yourself. Whatever level. Don't wait until somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, I believe you would make a good leader. Go for this job. Take this course. No, if you believe it, because really it's about you and God. If God has placed an unction in you to function in the capacity of leadership in whatever arena, okay? Don't wait for nobody to tap you on the shoulder and say, I think you can be good at that. Yes, Simone, always be teachable. Always open to learning, open to grow, and open to, I don't care what level you are at. You can be the CEO of the biggest Fortune 500 company in the region. But you should still always be coachable and teachable. Leadership is not a destination. It's a journey. You never really arrive. Oh, I'm here. I made it. Where you at, leadership? Talk to y'all later. I made it. No, you're constantly, should be progressing, growing, learning, experiencing, being teachable and teaching. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Constant. Once you get to a point where you think you didn't arrive, and I can't tell you nothing or nobody can tell you nothing, you're no good to anybody. Simone says, I'm learning how to believe in myself. Oh, Simone, that's so good. Because if I don't believe in myself, no one will. Simone, yes, yes, and oh, yes, amen, and Salah. If you have not established a belief system in yourself because of what God has placed in you, and I'm telling you, I don't believe that God placed anybody on this earth without some kind of element of greatness. You may not want to be a leader, but you can still be great. Okay? But with the element of greatness that God gives each and every human citizen. It's you that has to believe in the greatness. You have to believe you are fearfully, wonderfully made. You have to believe that you have the capacity to be able to do what it is God has called you to do in excellence, whether it's in leadership or not. You're called to be great. You're called to be great. But it's really you. I love you too, Simone. And I mean that so, so sincerely. And I thank you for being here because you're bringing up some very, very good points. You have to establish a belief system in yourself based upon your belief in God that He didn't make no junk. So if God created you, thought enough to give His only Son for you and thought you worthy of that ultimate sacrifice, then surely there is something in me worth loving and believing in. I made a post that said, I believe in you. And I was talking to everybody, and I tagged some people too, because there's some people in my life I wanted to make sure that they know publicly that I believe in them and who God made them and the anointing that rests upon them and the expertise that they operate in. Thank you, Simone. Thank you. We got to get to a point where we are no longer intimidated by each other, but we can celebrate each other as their own subject matter expert. I don't have to be jealous of your expertise, and please don't be jealous of mine. You don't know my story. You don't know what it took to get to where LHG is today, and you ain't seen nothing yet. She ain't even done. Don't believe me, just watch. So if you got a problem with LHG climbing higher, whether it's in business, ministry, health, baby, tune me right on off. Unsubscribe, because I have a plan for my existence to grow. God has a plan for me to prosper in every area, even as my soul prosper. I agree with His plan, and I want to be in alignment with His plan. So this is just the beginning for me. And I don't say that in an arrogant, braggadocious way. I just believe in God and believe God uses me as He does you. So leadership at every level is saying, whether you are the first person who the customer calls, you may make the least amount of money in the company. It's not about money. Money ties into promotion and growth in terms of the monetary aspect of elevation. But when it comes to true leadership, to be honest, I don't think a company could pay me what I'm worth. They can try though. Don't get me wrong, they can try. But the kind of work I give on the level that I give of myself to my team, I don't think the pockets is deep enough. And then they try to they cap you. Well, I only can give you this % raise because you in this area on the quadrant. No. And that's why I am a big proponent of entrepreneurism. No cap, meaning I don't want anybody capping my earning potential. If I'm giving my all, I want it all to come towards me. If I'm giving top-notch service, top-notch leadership, top-notch business practices, then I don't want my income limited. Nope. No. And I realize that companies have a budget. I'm not being unrealistic. But no matter how hard I work, the person across from me work less hard, don't even hardly show up, and can get the same raise, if not better than me, based on somebody's subjective performance review. Oh, I can't stand that. I can't. Or based on who they like or don't like. You got to know for yourself if you are a leader. You got to be prepared to create your own avenues of growth and leadership. You cannot wait for someone to ring your doorbell. Ring, ring, ring. Who is it? Somebody call for growth and development. No, you have got to seek it. So Facebook has so many free master classes. Come on, Simone. He thought I was worth saving, girl. So why would I second guess God's gift? Why would I say, well, Lord, why would you get your son for me. Evidently, he thought I was worth saving. So that means I should be worth the growth and development of the gift of life he gave me. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. You hate surveys, Simone. Why you hate surveys? I love surveys. Tell me why you hate them, Simone. Hey, Tracy Curry. Hey, sis. Thank you for being in the comments. I need you all to like, share, tag, and subscribe to Trailblazers Radio. We want to hit 100 subscribers right away. And you all can help us do that. Get the word out for me, y'all. But whether you are an entry-level person in the company, you may make the least amount of money. That doesn't mean you can't be a leader at the level that you're at. Because if leadership is in you, you don't know any other way to be but a leader. Because think about it, when you come into a new job, let me set the tone for you. I have a training background. I have 30 plus years in customer service, and 5, maybe more than 5, but officially about 5 of those were in training and development. So when a new training class comes in the room, y'all, people don't know each other. Nobody in the room knows each other. They're going to pick a seat wherever, no rhyme or reason. They're going to sit down. Over the course of the day, as people do their introductions, I make it fun, make it funny, and, just kind of ice-breakish, whatever. People will start to get to know each other based on conversation, okay? That's why communication and conversation is important, all right? So as my training class is getting seated, little by little, they're starting to get to know each other. By lunchtime on day 1 of training, they have met at least one person they kind of connect with to sit at lunch with, all right? Okay. They come back from lunch and they're, lunch was good. We're ready for more learning. Let's go. In class, I can tell who the leaders are by just a few things. I mentioned being punctual. I'm going to mention also leaders take care of their learning material. They read it. Some even take it home. I'm the kind of person in class, I can follow along in class. I got my highlighter. I'm following along in pink, yellow, and blue. But for me to be able to really take in the training material, I take it home and I go over it again and make my notes. Okay, Simone says, I hate surveys because of my heart. When customer service is horrible, I don't want anyone to get fired. Oh, that's a good point, Simone. Let's dive. Let me get my water, because you spitting some good comments in here. Let me tell you why surveys are important. If a company doesn't know what they do right, then they won't know to keep doing something, right? Conversely, if the company doesn't know what they do wrong, they don't know what to change. I love surveys. And for me, it's not about getting somebody fired per se. Look at it to where, Simone, perhaps this person had a bad day, missed a day of training. Your survey, your honest feedback, Simone, your honest and transparent feedback tells the supervisor or manager of that person what areas to go back to help them. Your survey can help people. Now, I can't tell you what companies do in terms of firing, but where I come from, I've never had to fire a person. It would have to be a blatant, unless my team member cussed you out, that would be a firing offense. But a simple, this person didn't do this person took too long, it would take a lot, like some major stuff to get fired. But the real purpose of a survey, I love surveys. I think surveys should be given on all levels of entry-level management all the way up to the top. Because how else can you measure? It's your way of measurement. How else do you know how effective you are being to the customer, not just to peer to peer. I can love you all day long. That don't mean the customer love you. I can love you as a coworker. But how else can you really measure, Simone, your effectiveness of your processes, the talent of your people, unless you ask the customer? You got to ask. And you can't be ashamed or afraid to face the truth. So your survey, Simone, is a golden ticket, whether it's a good survey or a bad one. They both serve a purpose. We're talking about leadership at every level. A person who wants to be a good employee, a person who has leadership characteristics would welcome the surveys. Bring them on. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. I welcome it because I want to know. I can't just be out here operating in uncertainty, wondering, am I doing a good job? No. The measurement is the customer's voice and the revenue that's coming in. So I want to know if my customer felt as though I was condescending to them, it probably wasn't my intention. But if a certain word I said, I taught a class called 5 Forbidden Phrases. There are certain phrases that you are to avoid saying to a customer. You know what one of them is? No. You got to find a nice way to say no. I'm unable to do that however I can. There's certain phrases that are forbidden in the arena of customer service. They bring upon a negative vibe in the conversation. I can't do that. Don't say that to a customer. No, you in the wrong department. There are certain things, it may be true, but you got to phrase it wrong. So your survey is golden. It's a golden ticket to a manager. I want to know if my staff is, number one, doing what they were trained to do and doing it in a way, okay, not just following the directions or instructions, but doing it in such a way where my customer felt valued at the end of the day. Everybody wants to feel valued out here. If I call you and you talk to me like I'm nothing, but I'm giving you my money every month, cut, draw the curtain, roll the credits. Yes. I'm going to go back to teaching that. I think I'm going to do it as a webinar, Simone. I found some of my old training material in my home when I was moving. And I think I'm going to create some classes, some webinars, because there are at least 5 of them. There could be more than 5 now. But there's 5 basic forbidden phrases that should not be said to a customer, especially a customer who's already upset. There's stuff that you need to avoid with an upset customer as well. I mean, man, customer service is layered, Simone. It is. So going back to the surveys, the good survey, when you do all 10s, all 5s, whatever the good surveys are, that tells the company and the person, I did a good job. It tells the manager, not only did their person do a good job, I may have spotted a star. And maybe I can use their phone calls in the training environment so I can get those who are struggling to know what an all good calls looks and sounds like. And I'm so glad you brought that up because surveys mean a lot. And I need people out there, no matter whether your experience was favorable or not, please fill out surveys. How else can companies and entrepreneurs do better or be great if you wait and blast us on social media instead of giving us the benefit of a survey, a review to them directly versus blasting us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever? Don't shop here. Don't go there. Before you get to that point, should you not allow the company to rectify the situation on ground level? Did you email them? Did you call them? No. Then how are they supposed to fix it? If you went from you had the experience to you on a mountaintop getting 1 million views, dogging them, that ain't fair. But I know what you mean, because you don't want anybody to lose their job. And to be honest with you, if that person was that bad on that phone call, rude to you, condescending, or whatever, maybe they should lose that job. Maybe losing that job would be the reminder or the jolt that they need to say, take your job seriously. Again, and I keep saying this, I don't care if you work for fast food. I don't care if you give hustle lessons. I don't care if you are a pastor. I don't care if you are a doctor. I don't care if you sell ink pens. There's a universal business language and a way to treat people with respect and integrity. Yes. I'm so glad you brought that up. So in this skit that we did, leadership at every level, we had different levels of employees demonstrating how they give the best customer service experience. The best experience comes from taking the time to talk to your customer in the right tone, answer their questions, be the subject matter expert, follow up. Ooh, that's huge. If you tell a customer you're going to call them back in a business day, do better and call them back in 3 hours. I like to overestimate the time I need to call my customer back so that I can call them in less time and wow them. It may sound crazy, but if you tell a customer you're going to call them in an hour and you don't call them in that entire day, you probably have lost them because you don't hold up your word. Leadership, you hold up your word. You keep your promises. If you said you were going to do something, you do it. You do it punctually. You do it not only in a timely way, but you do it in a way where you exceed the customer's expectations. You're looking to wow and delight that customer. That's a leadership characteristic. I don't only want to do it right. I want to do it so well, whatever I do, that you are so impressed by me and by our company that you don't want to buy paparazzi from nobody else but Polished on Purpose. Even though you got 10 other people that sell the jewelry on your timeline. I want to be that girl, that person, that salesperson, that consultant that does what she does in such a unique and positive way that you seek me out. LHG, I got a wedding to go to. I need something yellow and white. All right, I'm on it. No matter what you do, you want to be sought after. When I was in the call center and I got done with my phone calls, and again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or be arrogant, but I was darn good at them phone calls. Okay, it took some time to get there, but I work my butt off in these call centers. What if you get overwhelmingly busy that you can't? Oh, that's Simone, you are dropping some great questions. I have an answer for you. If you get to the point, say you told the customer, I'm going to call you back today, and you leave at 6, and here it is 3, and looking at the clock and what you have on your desk, you're probably not going to get their answer. What you do is you call them back and you say, hi, Mr. Johnson, I'm calling you to keep my promise. I said I was going to call you today. However, the situation is going to take me longer than anticipated. I'm going to need to go a little bit deeper, make a few more phone calls. I just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. Will you allow me an extra business day or two, depending on the complexity? Because when you give an expectation, Simone, you've got to be realistic when you set it. Depending on what you have, how many people you got to call, depending on how long you work or you may be off early, take into consideration your workload when you tell somebody what you're going to do. Okay. For example, if somebody owes you money and they owe you $100 and they get paid every week, that week comes, and they don't have it. Maybe something unexpected happens. They should be calling you saying, Simone, please forgive me. I know I said I was going to pay you back today or tomorrow. Don't wait till the day of. However, my dog needed something special, or I had to do something out of, I didn't expect it and I won't have it, or I have half of it. Would you give me another week? It's just the courtesy of saying, I didn't forget about you. I am calling you to let you know. I know that I owe you money. I know that I said I was going to call. I need more time. And let me tell you, I'm a very reasonable person. Very reasonable person. And I have had people tell me, you doing the most over $5, $10. No. It's not that that 5 or 10 is going to make or break me. It's the principle. Can I trust you to deliver on your promise? Can I trust you to do what you said you were going to do? Okay. And I've gotten to the point now where if I can't afford to just give you them some money, 10, 20 bucks, I'm not trying to loan people. I don't have no money to loan anyway right now, but I'll be careful with loans. That's all beaten path. I'm just saying, be careful with that. But in terms of your question, Simone, if you realize you got overwhelmingly busy and you can't call them back with the answer, you at least call them back to say, you know what, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to need more time, but I wanted you to hear from me so I didn't forget. Don't let the customer have to call you back first. Don't let them beat you to calling because you didn't honor your word. That means they're not going to trust you. They're not going to trust you. People just want to be valued, have their time valued, know that they mean something to you. So yeah, that's a great question, Simone. So adapting a leadership at every level ideal. That means if you are a business owner, you are a CEO, you recognize that whoever is on your team, entry level, been there 20 years, been there 10 days, they can be a leader wherever they land, wherever they are. And you recognize that star quality. Okay. Because I don't care if you are the housekeeper, the janitor, please don't underestimate those who have a job to clean. That's a major job. Please don't degrade people that clean. Please don't. You want that hotel room to be spotless, smelling good, looking good. Somebody had to do that for you. So please don't disrespect those who are in the profession of housekeeping. I have the utmost respect. I don't care if you're the housekeeper or the CEO, you're going to get treated the same by LHG. What if you call a company and they have you on hold for hours? Oh, Simone. And it can happen. From the customer standpoint, being on hold for a long period of time is unacceptable. Now, I'll tell you a secret. Every company in America is probably the busiest on Mondays. Okay? Because everybody that's closed on the weekends, opening up on Monday, you're going to get all those calls. Okay? But if you are on hold that long to where you feel it's unreasonable, that's another reason why that survey is important. You need to say something. You need to say something because your time as a customer, Simone, your time is valuable. And in a call center environment, because I come from that, I spent over 20 years in a call center, tethered to a phone, taking calls in mass quantities every day. In that environment, there's a built-in metrics where they should be staffing their team in a way where they have enough people so you don't have to hold on for hours. Now, when COVID hit, I'm going to come to that too, Simone. When COVID hit and people got sick in droves, companies got hit in terms of staffing, and they had a turnover rate that was probably out of this world because of the COVID pandemic and people just getting sick unexpectedly and in large numbers. That means where they might have had an adequate staff to handle calls to where your wait time can be minimal, they had half of that. Or go think about restaurants. Think about your favorite restaurant, y'all. You used to walking in, you get a table, 3 minutes. When COVID hit real bad, you go in and the wait is 2 hours. And you're looking at empty tables and you're wondering why am I waiting? And you got tables because they don't have any staff to man the tables. COVID messed everything up in terms of staffing. We're better now. People are going back to work. And you know what else messed us up too? The stimulus checks. We was getting so stimulated, we didn't want to go to work. Why would I want to go to work when the government is stimulating me? Huh? Let me tell you. So it was two things working against us in terms of staffing. Okay, good question. Your questions are so good, Simone. A turnover rate. Turnover rate means the percentage or the rate that people are quitting, leaving, whatever, for whatever reason. Maybe they're getting promoted. We call that, there's a word for promotions, attrition. Turnover rate. Call centers sometimes have a high turnover rate if they're managed wrong or they don't pay enough. You can get a training class. I'm giving you my experience. Training class of 20 people. Out of 20 candidates, people coming in, getting trained, whatever, maybe 10 might stay. They may not think the job is for them because call center work is not for everybody. You are tied to the phones. Your bathroom trips are monitored. You can't just get up and go where you want when you want. For that call center to work, Simone, and for you not to be on hold for hours, everybody has to be in their place all times. I can't send everybody to lunch and have nobody on the phone system because you're going to be waiting for hours. That means somebody has to manage staggering the breaks. Well, Simone, you go at 1. Fred, you go at 2. And Cheyenne, you go at 3. Because somebody got to cover these phones. It is an art to running a call center. And not everybody can work the phones and be tethered all day. Non-stop phone calls. Now, me, I'm the crazy one. I loved it. But I love talking to people. I love solving problems. So when we got busy, I was cool because that meant overtime. That meant, hey, cha-ching. Did I get tired? Yeah, I got tired. Mouth get dry, throat get dry, voice get scratchy. You talking all day long. But it was a career for me. It was an entry-level position that put me in a place to learn leadership and learn more about that company. It was entry level. It was the front line. But I learned so much. But managing and leading a call center means you got to make sure every member of your staff is in their seat. If your start time is 8 a.m., I need you ready for a phone call at 8, not coming in the building at 8, going to the bathroom, getting your coffee at 8. You're talking about leadership at every level. These little small, seemingly minute and minuscule things, to me, separate the wheat from the tare, because I want to know who's really in this and committed to this. And when you see who's coming in early, matter of fact, yes, I'm going back to that right now, Simone. Matter of fact, not only am I coming in early, come on, leadership skills, I'm going to ask you, dear boss, I happen to be here an hour early. Do you need me to log on the phone early? Are we busy? How's our service level and our phone call level looking? Come on, leadership. Because I'm in it for the team. I'm going to make some extra money too, but I'm also in it because I see the phone calls. We got calls that are on hold, and those calls represent customers who are going to get mad. So since I'm here early, boss, okay, if you need me, here I is. But let's go back to the topic of house cleaning or cleaning in general. Leadership at every level. I met a young lady. She probably wouldn't call herself young, but I'm going to call her young. She was a janitor at the company that I'm employed by. And when I tell you, when you go in a restroom and you know who cleaned it, just based on the level of cleanliness, I knew when she had been in that restroom, and I knew when she hadn't been in that restroom. Some people are anointed to clean. Let me say this. Some people out here have a ministry of, I have a sister, two actually, that have been helping me this last couple of weeks. They have an anointing to organize and clean. I don't have that yet. God help me on today. Please, Jesus. Please, Sir Jesus. There is an anointing. Everybody can't go in and feel good about cleaning behind people, whether it's toilets or sinks or food. Simone says that is what I would really like to do for my job, but my job will not allow me to start working. Well, Simone, let me say that. If the job won't let you start early, you may not be able to fault them for that, because overtime has to be in the budget. The earlier you start, unless you're going to leave early, they got to pay you and compensate you for that. So that may not necessarily be a bad thing. You know your job better than I do. But the fact that you ask, could you, to me shows the initiative and the leadership level quality that you looked at the condition of the place and you said, hey, I happen to be here early. I wouldn't mind, starting to clean the room early if you would like. Now, if they say no, that's okay. You still planted the seed, Simone. You still showed them that you were inclined to do it. That's the thing. Even if they don't say, sure, go ahead, for whatever reason, okay? Your thing was you put yourself in the position to say, I'm here if you should need me. Come on. And one way that you support your leaders is by saying, I'm here should you need me. And that's not just corporate. That can be a ministry leader. If you got a pastor who works darn hard for the flock, going to the hospitals, doing the eulogies, doing weddings, doing whatever, going to different engagements, and you notice that there could be something you can help him or her do. It could be making copies, making programs. Make yourself available. How about that? Because that means I'm saying to you, pastor, CEO, manager, I'm here to support you. I love supporting my leadership. I love it. Be it my podcasting boss, be it my actual boss, be it my pastor, be it whatever. Come on. A true leader is a servant first. I want to make sure that I am here to show you I got you. And I look at leadership when I want to support my leader, and I would come into work every day. I'm crazy, y'all. I'm just that quirky kind of employee. I would walk past her desk and I would go into her office. Good morning. If she was there before me, that didn't happen much, but even if she got there after me, I would make my way around to her desk and say, good morning. And I would say to her, we're going to have a good day. Is there anything in particular you need of me that I can support you on? Her first thing is, are you caught up on your work? And maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. But even if I was caught up, I'm saying I got some extra time. If you got something pressing, or even if I don't have a lot of time, if you got something super pressing, I'm just letting you know that if you need me for an hour or two, I'm at your disposal. Now, I'm a leader too, but I'm still supporting my leader, because listen to me, happy leader, happy me. That's how I felt. If I can keep my boss feeling good and happy and as stress-free as possible, and maybe that was not the best way to internalize that, but the way I'm wired, if I can make sure he or she feels supported, it will trickle back down to me. That's how I looked at it. If I can serve and be there for my pastor, for my CEO, for whoever is in leadership, okay? And then that means they have a better day, and then I don't get some of the brunt of the stress that they may have. But going back to cleaning, Simone, this particular janitor that I met at my job, and she was in charge of the restrooms in the training area, which was what I was doing. I met her. I don't know how we got introduced, but we started talking, saying good morning, and it came to where every morning she was kind of my person, and she would start ministering to me. Like, I watch you doing your training. I listen to you. You really got it. And I pray that you have a good day and that you have a good class and that your students receive. A janitor did that for me. Yes. So I don't despise people based upon their position. I respected the crap out of her because she didn't have to do that. Her job was to clean. Her job wasn't to minister to me, but I was her assignment. Come on in here. You have your job and you have your assignment. She was assigned to be my encourager while she cleaned those restrooms and those classrooms. Simone says they complain about how long it takes for me to get my job done every day. Okay. Good point. And let's unpack that, Simone. Every job I've ever had, whether it was leadership, whether it was call center, whatever it was, there was what we call a productivity goal. So whether if you're cleaning, the goal might be to clean 12 rooms a day, 2 rooms an hour. If you're in a call center, the goal might be to take 10 calls an hour. But to measure your company's effectiveness or to measure your productivity, we had a goal. We had a benchmark. So if your job is saying we expect our housekeepers to clean a room in 10 minutes based upon double beds, one bath, whatever it may be. I'm not in the industry like that, but I'm just kind of visualizing this amount. If you feel that the expectation, Simone, is unrealistic, that would be evident if other people aren't cleaning a room in that time. But we all do things different at different paces. All you really can do, Simone, is your best. If Sally can clean a room in 9 minutes, but it takes me 12, it doesn't make me a worse employee. It just may mean we move differently. Now, that's a good example in a call center. In a call center, everything is about numbers. They expect you to take every phone call in 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. But here it is. If one phone call takes me 10 minutes and that person was maybe 20 years old, computer savvy, on their lunch, and they talking fast. What happens when I get the call from the 80-year-old who has a hearing impairment and I got to talk slow and that call takes 30? How do you quantify that? I can't rush her. Some rooms are going to take longer to clean, Simone, if they had a party. Say it was a bachelor party in the room you cleaning. And you got pizza boxes and you got pop cans and they left clothes and they left the mess versus the other coworker got a room where it was just one single mother on a sabbatical writing a book and she ain't leave but one Kleenex. So in some instances, Simone, how people come up with the time it takes to do something, it may or may not be fair. All you can do is try your best. All you can do is say, dear supervisor, I really want to do a good job. And I know you want us to clean every room in 7 minutes, but are you aware that every room's condition is going to be different? Maybe you need to have that one-on-one conversation. Or is that particular job for you? I don't know. I don't want you to keep getting discouraged and beat down by people who are saying you're not performing either. So you may need to assess the situation because every job has their benchmark, their time frame, their expectations. If my boss expects me to do 2 podcasts a week, I got to do 2 podcasts a week. If something is impeding me from doing that, I have a very understanding boss and he may have an alternative, but I still got to say something. I still have a responsibility, and I have stuff I gotta do in any kind of job. So all you can do, what I'm saying, Simone, is your best. If they gave you a time frame and you're not able to meet it, and it's for good reason, tell them. Or have them come watch you. In my job at the call center, we used to have our managers pull up a chair next to us with a phone cord and watch us and listen to us take a call to see why it takes a certain amount of time. Now, it may sound punitive, but I like that, because if I'm doing the call the right way, but you underestimated the time, now you got proof. You sitting right next to me. You saw what I did. You heard what I was up against. And it took me 20 minutes because I had 3 different cars in an accident. Everybody got hurt. Everybody had neck and back injuries. So when they come up with these benchmarks, employers, hear me, bosses. When y'all come up with these benchmarks, you need to do a time study. You need to pull up a chair or show up at the work site and see what your employees are doing and how they are doing it. Before you think, oh, it should only take 8 minutes to clean the hotel room, I want you to try it, madam, sir. I want you to pick the worst hotel room. I mean, they had a New Year's Eve party, and I want to see how long it takes you to clean that room, employer. Come on, hotel owners. So I hope I answered your question, Simone. You only can do what Simone is capable of doing. LHG can only do what LHG is able to do. That's all you can do. And if you're doing your best and you prayed up going in there, Lord, you know my heart. You know I'm coming in here working my tail off. Be with me and keep them off my back. Or if they pushing you that much, maybe it's time. Maybe this particular industry isn't for me anymore. Maybe it's time to upgrade and do something else. Because sometimes God will allow things to happen and allow people to make you uncomfortable to push you to better. I'm just saying, it's happened to me. I've had the uncomfortable discussions. And LHG, you just ain't cutting it. Everybody else is meeting to go but you. It was a lie, but she figured she could scare me. LHG, you this is your downfall. Okay, whatever. I own my mistakes, but I also know I'm a dang good worker. So if you're giving your all, Simone, and your all isn't good enough for that particular job, it may be time. And I'm not saying to quit, but I'm saying it may be time to think about, will my best be better suited elsewhere? I'm just putting it out there. I will not tell somebody to go to work Monday and say, LHG said to quit. Don't do that. Please don't. I'm just giving you possibilities. I'm giving you possibilities because I've been there. I've been the one that was told in my one-on-one that I wasn't meeting the cut. It doesn't feel good. So although I am more than willing to accept constructive criticism, some criticism is unfounded. And I had no problem professionally having that conversation with my superiors. Hey, I can talk to the janitor, I can talk to the CEO, and I'm not intimidated at all by either one in between. I know who I am as an employee. And you should know who you are as well, Simone. Leadership at every level. You're offering your services where you can. You're making yourself available. If they don't want to accept the help, you can't make them. You go back and you clock in when you're supposed to, and you give it your all every day. And everything you do, we do as unto the Lord. That changed my whole perspective. And I know everybody out there may not be a believer in Christ. I respect that. But I believe when I go to work, when I post my pictures of my jewelry, when I go live, when I do my podcast, yes, I'm doing this for you all, but I'm also doing what I do as unto the Lord because it's Him who gave me the capacity to flow in this. So I always want what I do to reflect who he is to me and who he made me to be. So I may encounter people along the way that have terrible things to say or have opinions that may not feel good. And that's okay, especially in the whole world of social media. You may see some of everything. If you make a post that's transparent, you're thinking you're being, transparent and real, you never know what people's response is going to be. And as a leader, stay away from the clapback. The best revenge you can give is moving on. Some things aren't worthy of a response, leaders. Those who are aspiring to be leaders, pick your battles. Everything doesn't have to be an argument, a fight. If everything is a fight with you, if everything is an argument with you, that means you probably got some underlying anger issues or trauma that's making you see the world through a negative filter. We all have different eyes and a different filter of experience. So while you may have a optimist on your team, that's me. I was nicknamed Awesome Sauce and Sprinkles. People couldn't stand me. Why? Because you're just too dang on happy. I'm not lying, y'all. They called me Awesome Sauce and Sprinkles because I don't care what was going on in the office. It was my desire to always see a positive spin on it. For one, we still got a job. For two, we get a paycheck. So whatever's coming down the pipeline, y'all, we can work with it. Oh God, here come Awesome Sauce and Sprinkles, seeing the bright side. Yes. It's how I function. It's how I live and stand up, vertically and not horizontally. I mean, the joy of the Lord really is my strength, even when I don't feel it. I mean, geesh, if all the ammunition you got on me is that I'm an optimist, hey, I'll take it. But there's also office pessimists. Come on, leadership. Recognize who your office pessimist is. Who's that one person who comes in and day out? Oh my God, time to make the donuts. It's gonna be a horrible day. We're gonna get fired. They're gonna streamline us out of here. Oh my God, it's Monday. Monday is always horrible. You need to address those people because they are negatively infiltrating the peace camp. Now, if you got a legit complaint, a legit grievance, there's a way to express that. Leaders on every level, because you may not have the leadership title, but somebody is watching you. Somebody is paying attention to you, even on a peer-to-peer level. I used to have these visions when I would go to work and I would be amongst my peers. You know which your coworkers are slackers. You know Tyrone and Jerome and Bonquisha don't be punching in late every day. And I think to myself, Lord, if you ever let me become a leader, don't put them on my team. If you love me, Jesus, the way you say you do, please don't ever put them on my team should you give me a promotion in this here job. But on the other side, as a peer, I knew who the stars were too. I got eyes. I don't have to be a manager to be able to spot who working and doing a dang on thing. I can hear, I can see. So I knew, Lord, if you ever allow me to become a manager, please let me get this person and this person on my team. Think about in school when you used to have those little baseball games and you could pick who you want. I was the fat girl. I couldn't run, couldn't jump. Talking about white men can't jump. Look, big black girls couldn't jump back in the 80s. Listen, nobody picked me on their baseball team, and I didn't care because I knew I wasn't a good baseball player. But let that spelling bee come up, though. Huh? Listen to me. Let that good spelling bee come up. Baby. Oh, I can spell real good. I was a nerd. I still am. But same thing in corporate America. You know on your team, whether you are a peer manager, CEO, lead, whatever. You know who working and who ain't. You know, you can see. It ain't no secret. But what I wanted to do, y'all, we're talking about leadership on every level. I wanted to be that person, that employee, that peer, that even if my coworker got promoted tomorrow and she knew what I was capable of, that she would say, oh, thank y'all for this position. I'm going to reach over here and get my girl LHG, and I'm going to have her come over here with me. Just like when people get a political position, whether it's governor, mayor, president, and they go in office and they get rid of the old cabinet and the old whatever, and they want to pick who they want. I want to be one. Come on here. I want to be one that worked so hard and worked smart that whoever was in that capacity, whoever got the vote, you know what? I know who I can use for this particular part of, Congress or Senate or whatever. Let me call LHG to be Secretary of whatever, Secretary of Conversations. Let me call LHG. So I think about stuff like that, you all. I don't care if you are clocking in 9 to 5. I don't care if you are on the phones. I don't care if you're on the assembly line. I don't care if you are driving a garbage truck. I don't care. If you have leadership capabilities and you feel that tug, be prepared for constructive criticism and don't go on the deep end about it. Invest in yourself, whether it's classes or, courses or whatever. If your company is offering courses in leadership, see if you can take them, even without being a leader. Now, some companies don't do that. But whatever you can take, if you can shadow somebody on your off days, you have got to be willing to invest in your own future as a leader, even if nobody ever taps you on the shoulder and says, you'll make a great leader. If you believe that about yourself and you're willing to put in the work to develop your leadership style, do it now. Start being punctual early now. Stop milking the lunchtime. Stop being gone too long or being MIA at the job. Let people know they can count on you. Start volunteering for overtime. Start being extra careful with your productivity. That's how you know you're capable. You start it now. If you clean in rooms, you be the best housekeeper. Because I'm telling you, when I go to hotels and I interact with housekeeping, I don't mind tipping people. They got my room so fresh, it smells like Clorox clean. And that shower is clean and that room is sparkling like a diamond. I want to know who cleaned my room. Because I want to do the survey so that you know, Mr. Manager, that you got a jewel on your hands. Give positive feedback and not just negative. Don't just be the one that asks for a manager when it's something bad. If you have a positively memorable experience at Burger King or buying a house or buying a car or whatever it may be, I challenge you today. Put in a good word. You never know, that could lead to that person getting a raise or some kind of accolades, and it could make their day, it could make their career. Don't just report the bad stuff. Don't just blast the bad stuff all over social media. Blast the good stuff. If you went to Starbucks and they made you a mocha chocolate, ya, ta, la, la, ce soir, and it will set your soul on fire, call them and tell them, who's my barista? Because this mocha chocolate, la, la, cha, ce soir is delicious. Tell them. We so quick to dog people. We so quick to come out the gate with the negative. But we covet the good. Oh, it was good, but I ain't telling nobody. Why not? If it was your company, you want the accolades, wouldn't you? Come on. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I got to recover. I had surgery Monday. I'm getting a little sore. This gonna have to be a part 2 because I ain't even got to my notes yet. Because someone was dropping some wonderful questions, and thank y'all for being in the comments. I need you all to tag, share, like, subscribe to Trailblazers Radio. I want us to get to 100 subscribers this weekend. The team is led by CEO Frederick Beatty. He has several shows: Coco Fenton, Quint Jones, and myself. We are doing our best to bring impactful, informational, encouraging content to you. And we all have different days that we show up. Next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, as a matter of fact, Girl Chat Weekly at 8 o'clock, 1 hour. It was 2 last week, but you know, yeah. But still, we flow. 1 hour of just us girls talking about women's health, relationships, parenting, business, just development, just us. It's all about us. I know you may not ever get that anywhere else, but 1 hour just for us, y'all. And we have so much fun, and we get so many good tidbits to refine us and make us better. It's fellowship too. So if you're that busy mom, that busy entrepreneur, that busy whatever, and you want that 1 hour of chill, you grab your water, put your bunny slippers on, put your bonnet on, and you watch Girl Chat Weekly and get in them comments. So meet me this Tuesday at 8, and I'll be back next Saturday. I got a special guest coming. Just stay tuned. But I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all. Thank you for being the most important part of this process. You all are amazing. I love interacting with y'all. I love our conversations. And these conversations are to make us better, to refine us, to develop us. They're not always comfortable, but they sure enough going to be necessary. I will see y'all this coming Tuesday. I want you to have a good weekend. Go to church tomorrow, okay? I love y'all. Peace.